What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast, and this is your boy Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai. This is session 2, episode 5. And in this episode, I think I'm just going to cover a bunch of different things. So a lot has happened since the last time we were here. Israel Adesanya lost. We were supposed to destroy an entire population of people. Armin Tsarukyan's having a legendary RAF run. I don't know. Macy Barber got KO'd and then submitted at the same time. There's a lot of stuff happening, so we're going to try to cover as much of it as possible. But first, if you like this show, tap the like, hit the subscribe, pass it along, tell a friend. It helps the algorithm. If you write a comment, if you want to stop by the gym, hit us up, www.luckysmt.com. We'd love to have you come by, do a trial class. We have Muay Thai. There's a jiu-jitsu program run by a wonderful black belt, Roberto Carrero. We have what you need. We have what you want. And it's at a reasonable price compared to everyone else. So if you get an opportunity and you really want to try something new, getting in shape with a good group of people, swing by or hit us up, www.luckysmt.com. We are looking forward to seeing you soon. Okay, since last we talked, Israel Adesanya fought Joe Pyfer, and he just couldn't pull the trigger. There was plenty of opportunities and moments where he had caught Joe Pyfer either off balance or a great angle, or he landed something. But there's a thing that happens sometimes with fighters, and it doesn't happen necessarily all the way throughout the end of their careers, but there are moments where pulling the trigger, like actually just letting it all flow and come out, sometimes is an issue. I don't know if that was what he was running into. Joe Pyfer's a big, strong dude that hits hard, so the point of like taking opportunities is that big, strong dudes like that, you got to try to get them out of there, or at least damage them enough that you can, continue the fight and try to maybe get the decision, which Adesanya is a decision guy for the most part. But he looked great out there. Joe Pyfer just looked big and strong and heavy-handed. He's going to be a problem just in general. If he ever gets a title, I don't know, but he's so heavy-handed and strong, he's going to be a problem for a lot of people in the division. So people are calling for Israel to retire, and I just think that's nonsense. But I don't think it's nonsense. What I think is they need to set him up with good fights for a guy that's on his way out so he can put on a little showcase, get the fans hyped for the next guys coming up, and he deserves that at the very least for everything he's done. But as we know, the UFC and that organization overall does not give a shit about what you've done for them over the years. It's what have you done for me lately? And so I don't know if they'll just do whatever he wants or give him what he wants, but I assume they'll probably make some. Who knows? Dana's not in charge anymore, is the understanding, and it's Hunter Campbell and not TK. Is it TKO? No, TKO is, maybe it is. Either IMG, whatever it is, they're running the show. It's not Dana. And I'm sure Dana has input and all that and is in charge of like production or whatever they said he was in charge of. But if they're just about making money, they may not necessarily give a shit about what the fighters want or deserve. And a lot of them weren't there throughout these fighters' reigns, and a lot of them do not give a shit about fighting. They care about the dollar. So any fighter that's retiring or getting towards the end of their career, get as much money as you can and don't expect that they're going to do anything to try to help you, because that's like a real thing. Let's see here. Macy Barber fought Alexa Grasso, who is a top tier fighter. Alexa Grasso is top tier. She more than likely will get that title again soon. She cracked Macy Barber twice and then snatched her neck. It's been a minute since I saw the fight, but the ref was on it immediately. Macy Barber tried to shoot a single on the ref, and then as the ref, let her know she was kind of over, whatever, she turned around and laid down on the floor, passed out. And she was out for a long time. At least it appeared that way, staring at the crowd ceiling. I don't know. I hate that she was out that long. I don't know if anything was really wrong or if it was just a state of shock. I hope that she is healthy and recovering and ready for whatever the future is going to bring, because she's going to need to really get in there and get some adjustments done, because the level Alexa Grasso was at versus the level that Macy Barber is at, it's not close. And Macy Barber-Young, she's got some time. She can get this done, but she's going to have to work extremely hard. Demetrius Johnson got to the Hall of Fame, and he is a super, super deserving fighter. Obviously, the 12 title defenses or 13. Got traded, went to won championships over there. I think 3 titles or 2 title, a defense and a title. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, he's one of the all-time greatest fighters, period. And he deserves to be in that Hall of Fame, in the one Hall of Fame, in whatever Hall of Fame is available for a guy like him. Another one that just really maybe didn't get the accolades at the time that he deserved, but he is definitely receiving them now. He's a big following. People love him. He's a great personality. His ideas on fighting are great, and I think people really appreciate Demetrius Johnson. So congrats, shout out to him for getting to the Hall of Fame. Most deserving. I don't know why I said it like that. It was kind of weird. The PFL happened, and last podcast I talked about PFL, and I'm like, I like PFL. I don't know where the hell they are. And then I saw the owner of PFL on Ariel Helwani's podcast, and he was talking about, or he asked him about being pushed to the back of ESPN, and I was like, damn, my man is on ESPN, the Ocho. Like, I saw the highlights the next day, the PFL highlights, and they were great. So I'm not sure, they have an opportunity. And I heard they're talking about going back to calling it Bellator, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But here, it's crazy. But PFL apparently put on a fantastic show, and I hope that they get themselves back into the front of people, because with the Netflix card and with the UFC on a little bit of a decline, and we'll touch on that in a second, this is a prime opportunity to put some of those superstars that they have on their fight cards in the spotlight, and they really do have good fighters. Unfortunately, I don't even have that in front of me. Hold on. Anyway, PFL put on a great fight. Apparently, the highlights looked amazing, and you just didn't hear anything about it. I mean, it's very disappointing, man, because I'm going to try to do my best to watch the whole card of PFL and see what I really think about it, because every time I see the highlights, they look good, man. Should we talk about the decline and where all of this is right now? I think, first of all, let me just say, I think the UFC and MMA will have a renaissance period at some point. It just is not right this second. UFC 327, which is in Miami, which is where we are right now, where I am right now, is not sold out and doesn't look like it's going to sell out. Although they have a way of like giving tickets out and stuff like that to fill in the gaps. But let me just say this. Wasn't the biggest draw on the fight, in the biggest fight card, the biggest draw, the biggest names, whatever. Let's see who's on here. Joshua Van and Tatsuro Taira out because of Van's injury. So Yuri versus Carlos Ulberg. That's a good title fight for the vacant light heavyweight title. Curtis Blades is on here. Paulo Costa's on here. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. It's a, winner, loser goes home type of fight. Nate Landwehr, Cub Swanson, and Nate Landwehr trying to make his way through these, into the upper echelon, fighting a guy like Cub Swanson, who is, I think maybe it's a retirement fight, but these are names that, like, I know. And, like, Aaron Pico, Patricio Pitbull, Kevin Holland's on the card. Listen, Tatiana Suarez, Luke versus Lupi, Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Listen, I like the names for me, like a person that likes fighting and knows like who these people are. But you're trying to get the average fan in Miami to buy a $300, I think they're probably $500 now on the resale or whatever, for nosebleeds for any of these. Like, it's not anything that people in Miami do. They're not big enough. They're kind of fair weather fans, and they're also all about whatever the biggest is. And mind you, you're trying to bring a show to a place where it is entirely too expensive to live right now. Prices are going up. We have had several issues with real estate, and like people can't get apartments, and like all that starting to come down a little bit, but the city's in a little bit of a weird place, and paying 300 to 500 to 600 to whatever it is to go see UFC fights where maybe if you're the average Joe, you don't know the fighters, it's going to be a tough sell. So yeah, the fight's in 2-3 days, and they have not really sold a ton of tickets, to my understanding. And I saw the little diagram, and they're trying to compare it to the Netflix card, because they haven't sold a bunch of tickets yet, but the Netflix card has a month to sell their tickets. And as I said, Miami has a way, or I'm sorry, promoters, Miami has a way of getting some tickets out there to fill in the gaps. But I will say that once again, this goes to not promoting as well as probably should be done. And also no outreach to the local coaches, gyms. Like I got a what is it? Somebody hit me up from a wireless company to put in some full size things of full size stand ups of Daniel Cormier, Justin Gaethje, because they're doing a meet and greet, or a couple of meet and greets here, which is awesome. But I have literally been around and in this industry, and one of the pioneers, if you will, of Muay Thai in Miami, and I've never so much as gotten a reach out from a major, well, at least like a couple of, like, there's been a few major fighting organizations. Oh, crazy out there. Major fighting organizations that have come to town, and you would think that you want to outreach to not just the most popular like gyms and coaches that you might see doing viral things, but if you want the fighters and the people to come, maybe reach out to the gyms that teach jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA, that are all over the city, and maybe offer some sort of gym discount if like you can get 10 of your students to come, or something in this regard, because everybody I talk to for the most part is not trying to pay. Listen, if it's you and your gal and your son or daughter, let's say, you're talking $1,500 plus parking, plus food, and plus merch or whatever else. This event, though it may turn out to be the most, I don't know, it may be the most exciting event. It's not worth $1,500 for 3 tickets. That's not even including all that other stuff. It's just not. It's not worth it. The UFC is overpricing, under delivering for the most part, and right now it's in a bit of a change. It's going through a change, and I do believe in the long term there will be a renaissance. Bigger fighters will come. Like fighters will become bigger, and really bring something new or exciting back to the sport. As far as my pick goes, I think Yuri Prochazka takes this fight against Olberg, only because he has experience and he's been really trying to get here. Now, can Olberg smash? Yeah, but so could Khalil Roundtree. Olberg may be more well-rounded. I'm not sure, but Yuri's been trying to get here for the last few years, and this may be his actual real opportunity to make it happen. So I'm picking Yuri, even though I picked Adesanya to win the last one. I might be jinxing everybody. Yeah, so that's it, man. That's the real deal. It's like you're not promoting the fighters well enough, and you're not offering tickets cheap enough to see the fighters that you are bringing, and it's just not like, it's not the time. Which leads me to this, and I'm gonna close down on this. Do you remember a moment in time in which the UFC would be putting on a huge event? John Jones, Connor, all of these different things were going on, big fights, and then they would wait till the crowd was settled in. It's loud. The announcers are going. Joe Rogan's talking. Daniel Cormier's talking. Everybody's getting it hyped up. and they would bring Donald Trump in, and the crowd would go crazy. They parade him over to Joe Rogan and give him a big hug. What is the opinion of that moment now? And it's not about the politics of it, of everyone. My question is, once you hear a powerful person who says, I'm basically gonna destroy a whole civilization of people never to come back again. Even if true or false, the person that has the ability and the power to do it said it. Do we feel confident that this was the person that we should have been cheering on in this way? I hope everybody understands that this is a thing that Dana did as a favor. Dana did it as a favor because when nobody wanted to see the UFC and Dana, Donald Trump did. He likes the fights. And so Dana's favor was, I'm going to help get you back in a good light with people. There's investigations going on. There's craziness. Let's bring you into these fights with all these fans and show you off and pump up the crowd. And they did that. And all the hugs, all the support, all the fighters running over to him to shake his hand after they win. Where are they? Everybody was so vocal. Where are you now when this man says, I'm going to destroy an entire population of people? Why so quiet? If you're going to scream as loud as you can when he's like the guy that's doing everything you love, you have to scream just as loud if he's talking about doing something as horrifying as trying to destroy an entire civilization of people. And yet, crickets. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. So I only have one question for you. If you stayed this long, I have a question, and I really want you to try to put this in some comments. Let me know how you feel. So what happens now if Dana's no longer in control? Is the UFC going to distance itself from politics, the White House, Donald Trump? Do you think they should? Do you think they should have never gotten involved in this in the first place? Let me know how you're feeling about where this all goes now, because the White House card doesn't feel the same now. It doesn't feel the same. Are you going to go perform for this man that said he would be willing to kill an entire civilization of people and still feel good about it? Am I going to watch it and still be like, yeah, okay, all right, great. I don't know. But we as a people, as a country, and just as human beings in general, need to really take a moment in this time and just really reflect upon where we've been the last 8 to 10 years. We can do better. All together, and we can all together now. My daughter is influencing this, and my wife. Anyway, I love you guys. Let's get out there and try to fix all this shit. And you got to start in your own neighborhood, in your own house, in your own world. Try to be kind, be empathetic, take care of each other, have an open mind, and then be positive, do the work, and try to keep the negative energy out. I love y'all. I'm out. I know it kind of got deep at the end, but like, brother, we're in a real weird place in this world right now. And sometimes like this is all I got is this microphone here. So I got to say what I got to say. I love y'all. If you like the show, keep the like, hit the subscribe, tell a friend, pass it along, write a comment for the algorithm. If you want to stop by the gym, you know the deal, www.luckismt.com. I will be waiting. Peace.
Don't want a complication.